Here's our number, so call us maybe. Actually, you already did, because today we're cleaning out the old voicemail box to answer your honest financial questions.
Their reliability percentage is probably about 50%.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
What is the dumbest, stupid tax you have paid?
I had a recent one. Have I dogged Dick's Sporting Goods yet?
Hey, guys, I'm Rachel Cruz.
I'm George Camel.
And this is
Smart Money Happy Hour.
Well, this is the show where two friends who happen to be money experts talk about what you're talking about. Everything from pop culture, current events, and money.
But first, I know you're curious about what we're sipping on here. This is the Irish Maid.
And can I say, love it so far.
Already a fan. Stick around till the end. We're going to give you our rating and reveal the cost per glass at the very end of the episode.
Love it.
Okay, Rachel. So when people ask you, what's the best part of your job? Immediately, what comes to mind? Be honest.
I like the fact that we get to interact with people, like in their real life, things that are happening, especially when we host the Ramsey show. They call in or on social. You know, I'll get Instagram DMs and they're like, hey, this is what's happening. Like it's celebratory or questions. I don't know. I'm like, oh yeah, we get to be with the people and I love it.
That is true. I like that people give us their little riddles and puzzles and they trust us to help them solve it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're actually going to go do this stuff if I tell them to do it. So there's a weight there, but it's such an honor and privilege.
Yeah, it is. It's super, super fun. That's why I'm really excited about today's episode because we set this up. We set up the voicemail. We had this idea. This has probably been, I'm going to say about a year ago.
Feels like a decade
Yeah, it's been a while. And we're like, it'd be so cool to do this. And we've utilized it some, but we're like, you know what? I kind of want to dedicate a whole episode to people and their questions. And like, what do they have?
We just opened it up and said, hey, call us, leave a voicemail, and maybe we'll answer it in this episode. And here we are.
Are
you nervous? You just did 3 hours of the Ramsey show, so I feel like you're primed.
I'm ready to take some calls, but I like that they're Smart Money Happy Hour listeners, though.
That's true. That makes them
something special about
more
you guys.
likable.
I know. So yeah, I think we should dig in and unfilter responses. And the great thing about this show is we don't have to. We're not on a clock.
Yeah.
Like if when you're doing the Ramsey show, you have segments, and so you only get so many minutes with a caller. But
that makes sense.
George,
I thought you were gonna like cuss or something. You're like unfiltered. Like what is? Okay, sure.
What if I did? What if I was just like beep 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 beep, and they had to beep me right now, but I didn't really say anything?
My mom would be upset with you.
No, but
I'll
like,
let you know.
what if in post?
Oh, they just faked it.
What if in post they like just put like censor?
All right, try
me.
it out. The editors can do it.
Just censor me because you think I am cussing, but I'm not. That'd be funny.
I really hope. Okay, here's my honest prayer. I hope the editors do nothing with that. Just leave you high and dry. That would make my day. So editors, who are you going to choose?
Beat me out. Make it funny.
That is amazing. No, I'm going to keep this family friendly because we have a surprising amount of 7-year-olds that listen to this show. So I feel like I'm the role model.
Unbelievable. All right, let's go. Voicemail number 1.
So one thing I struggle with is how come you should pay off your house if you know you're not going to live there for a long time?
Why should I pay off my house if it's not my forever home, essentially? Mm-hmm. I would posit this question. Why would you pay off your car if it's not going to be your car forever? What's the point? You're going to get another car eventually. Might as well just roll over the payment to the next one.
Yeah, just keep it going. I know. Well, and the good thing about the home, when you're quote unquote paying it off, is you're putting in equity to the home. Like you're still getting value. It's almost like your money is shifting from like a bank account to an asset. Do you know what I mean? Like in my head, your money's actually may even grow, right? With as your home goes up in value. So we get that question a lot. We also get the question of, okay, we have, $20,000 and no consumer debt, an emergency fund, but we have an additional like big chunk of money. Should we go ahead and just throw it at the mortgage, or we might in the future move? Should we just keep it for a possible future down payment? And there's no like real plan in place. It's just an idea. And even in that case, I'm like, it's like a forced savings account that you can't spend when you throw it at your house, right? So eventually, if you did move, you just roll your equity over and use that money, your equity, for the down payment as you go and get a different home.
Absolutely. That's how it works in reality, and that's what I've done with my own house. We paid it off, we sold it, took all of the equity, put it into the next one. That allowed us to get debt-free even faster. And I think human behavior and psychology would say having a giant pile of money or saying, well, I could put it toward the house if I wanted to, I think deep down there's a justification and excuse of you saying, I'd rather not. I'd rather stay in debt longer and have this money to go spend.
To go do something else
So
with
just
it, yeah.
budget for the spending, budget to pay off the house early.
Yeah.
And knock it out.
You can do both. Love it. Hope that helps. We
Hope that was honest
we
enough.
usually have the name in the city. We don't have that.
Oh,
Should we
like
make them
Brenda
up?
from Michigan.
I had Brenda in my head too. George Camel. I literally
legit thought
her
Brenda.
name was Brenda. Yes.
She didn't sound like a Brenda, but she had Brenda vibes.
She had
you know what I mean?
Brenda vibes. Yeah, I would have gone New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why. Felt right.
Okay.
Yeah, Brenda from New Hampshire.
She didn't have a New Hampshire accent to me.
What's a New Hampshire accent?
I don't know, leans New England-y. It's near Boston. You know? A little bit of that Dunkin' Donuts kind of, attitude.
Hey, have you seen the kid on Instagram? He keeps coming up in my feed, and he's like 12, and he's Italian, like pure Italian from New York. Have you all seen this? Like, it's bolognese. He's like, listen, what was the last thing? Okay, everyone has seen it, so it's like become a trend. He had, what was his word recently?
Mozzarella. Yes.
Mozzarella. Yeah. Was it mozzarella? Yeah. Was it that one that people were like mispronouncing? They weren't doing it like in the full Italian way.
Yeah, you don't pronounce the A at the end, I don't think.
Fantastic, y'all.
I got to check him out.
Oh, and his grandmother makes pasta, and there's a video of them hugging, and she's like, and she's like slapping his back, hugging. I mean, just an Italian grandmother.
The most Italian you can get.
Gosh,
I got to
how we
find
got
this
off
guy.
on that. It's the best follow.
That is the mind of Rachel Cruz. We go from, let's talk about mortgages, to rabbit trail into a 12-year-old Italian influencer. I don't know what he is. I don't know who he's influencing,
He's
Rachel,
so
I
great.
guess.
I know, I
But
like
that's
him.
a good housing question to kick us off. Pay off your house.
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
it. You will not regret it. If you do, you can always go back into debt. Very few people choose to do that.
Yeah, that's my line.
Get rid of the biggest fixed expense of your life. And we didn't say this, when you're paying down the mortgage, you're essentially earning that interest rate. So you have a guaranteed interest rate that you're saving of that 5.5%.
Yes.
Versus saying, well, I'll invest it and maybe make money, maybe lose money in the short term for a savings plan.
Yeah, and always remember this. Always work towards being debt-free. And if you become debt-free, even house and all, and you absolutely hate it, you can get back in. Like, there's a whole industry out there waiting for you to get back in.
They will be marketing heavily. Hey, tap in that home equity. You got a lot
so
of
if
it.
you hate being debt-free, you can always get back
Goodness
in. Remember
great.
that.
The people with the HELOCs to go do who knows what.
I know, there's a
What
lot
are
of
you guys
HELOCs.
doing, guys? This is the most American thing. We build some wealth and we're like, hey, let's undo all of that to go on vacation.
I know. Well, a lot of people do HELOCs for home renovations, though.
To build the pool,
Give them a little credit.
redo the kitchen.
They do.
I get it.
All right, let's go voicemail number 2.
Hey, George. Hey, Rachel. My name is Sally, and I'm from New Jersey. I'm currently working through baby step 2, and I'm down to about only $10,000 left in debt, so I'm almost there. However, we just found out that my oldest daughter needs braces on her teeth, and after shopping around, it's going to cost us about $5,000. I do have an HSA account, but I'm trying to figure out the smartest way to cover this. Should I pause my debt snowball to cash flow the braces, or is there a better way to tackle this and stay on track with the baby steps?
Oh, man.
Sally from New Jersey.
We got her name. She's next to Brenda. They're close in the same part of the country.
I would have guessed Sally. Maybe New Jersey.
She seems so nice.
Very sweet.
Very,
and a
very
great
nice.
question. So $10,000 left on the debt payoff journey, and boom, braces.
Braces.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Always happens that way.
$5,000. She's got an HSA, which is a health savings account, which is awesome. So
I
you
wonder
can,
how much she has in there, you think?
Yeah, I imagine not 5,000.
No,
She's trying to figure out how to
but
cash flow
some.
this. So that could help. So she's wondering, do I pause the debt snowball completely and just make minimum payments in order to cash flow this?
Yeah.
I don't know what the payment plans these days are with braces, like if you have to pay all at once versus spreading it out.
Right. Could you cash flow the process?
Yes.
of
Could you cash
braces?
flow it in your budget?
There's probably a larger lump sum at the beginning, I would think. But yeah, I bet every single appointment, I don't know. I'll be honest.
I don't know what the braces world is like these
we
days.
have not. I know. Did you know I never had braces?
People comment and they say, Rachel's teeth are impeccable.
Never had braces.
Straight your whole life. Just
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. I did.
Still the
do
same
something
baby
with my
teeth?
gums
Never fell
a
out?
year ago. Yeah. And mom and dad never had braces. My parents, neither of them. But Daniel and Denise did. My mom never had braces, and she has beautiful teeth. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
Yep. But all that to say, I did
What
have
a
a little
great humble brag on Sally, like dunking on Sally. Good luck, Sally.
Good luck, Sally. Some of us don't have to have braces.
What would I do if I was in Sally's shoes? I mean, if it truly is, I'm not going to call this an emergency, but it is necessary.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. And depending on what you make a year is going to help determine. Like if it's going to take you 2 years or longer to get out of the $10,000, I probably would slow that down and cash flow the braces at the same time. That's probably what I would do. But if you can like knock out the debt in 9 months or something, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Then just do that.
So I'd figure out the drop dead date on when we need to start braces, what that amount is going to be.
Yep.
Have that amount ready.
Yes.
Then figure out what the remaining payments are going to be. And I would slow down the debt snowball so that I can cash flow it. But I don't know that I'd completely pause it if she still has money left over.
That's what I'm wondering. Can you put braces off for 6, 7, 9 months, right? And kind of be saving on the side for that while putting some extra towards the debt. Can you do 2 at the same time? But it's just going to be slowing down the debt snowball while you're doing that. But yeah, the kids braces thing, I don't know. And then the new thing, George, which again, we've not entered, but kids are doing braces earlier. Did you know this? They're now doing it in 2 phases. So that actually may help her. I don't know. Well, not. They do a shorter amount of time earlier, and then they do it a little bit later, another short amount of time.
Just kind of splitting it up.
Versus like when we were in school, you got them in like middle school and you had them for like 2 to 3 years straight.
I got mine off when I was a freshman in high school.
Okay, yeah. So there's kids right now in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade that have braces. Because once your first 4 teeth come in at the top,
they already know that it's jacked up.
They start doing it, yes. Because it's a shorter amount of time early. And then they'll have them again in middle school, but it will only be for like a year or something.
Interesting.
I know. It's a different philosophy these days. I'm learning something new.
I feel like this is my, like, is this a scam? Or orthodontists all in on this, starting this trend? I'm not trying to go there, but could it be?
I love a conspiracy.
Could
Are you
it
kidding
be?
me?
I know, I can't dangle that in front of Rachel. It's dangerous.
Especially with teeth health.
So this comes down to making a budget. I would use every dollar, download the app, and go, okay, how much can we throw at the debt? How much do we need to cash flow each month to cover the braces? And then start splitting the difference in the budget to see what's going to work for you guys.
Yep. I think that's a great question. But, we talk to so many people that pay off all their debt, they become debt free. And they'll say in our debt free journey, we had a baby in the process, we cash flowed some renovations that are like our roof needed renovated. Like life is going to happen through the baby steps, right? Life is going to happen. So just remember that, give yourself some grace around it. But the faster you get out of debt, the more all that cash is freed up every month versus going to payments. So let that be your motivation. George, this was not a voicemail, but I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, George. How do I keep all my personal information safe from the internet?
What an astute question, Rachel.
Thank you.
It's very easy because I use a service called Delete Me. So what they do, they go in to all these data broker sites on the web, all these weird, scammy looking sites. And they delete your personal info, your email address, your name, your family's name. Everything's on there. And so they'll go in, delete it, send you a report showing you what they've done. And there's real people behind the scenes doing this all year long over at Delete Me. And it gives me a lot of peace of mind and saves me a ton of time.
Yeah, it's amazing, you guys. Because again, it's like a billboard out there on the internet these days with your name, your address, your email, your phone number, your kids' names. So much is out there today. And so being able to protect your privacy online from phishing and scams and all the things, it is worth it.
It's just gotten out of control.
I know, and it's just not getting better, George. So getting people on your side is important, and Delete Me are those people you want.
And to make it even sweeter, we've got a deal for you. You can get 20% off their annual plans by going to joindeleteme.com/smartmoney, or just click the link in the description, and we will take you there.
Love it. Perfect.
Sleep better tonight.
All right, voicemail number 3.
I have a question about baby step 3. We're about $12,000 into our emergency fund with about $30,000 to go for a full 6 months, and all hell breaks loose. My husband's truck window gets cracked, car issues, transmission with my car, dental issues. If you're halfway through, when do you start pulling from it? Or do you replace the window with cardboard and figure it out until it's fully funded?
Oh, boy.
Man, life happens. Well, life happens, and that's why we have an emergency fund. So we really look at an emergency 3 ways. Is it urgent? Is it necessary? And
is it unexpected?
Unexpected. Thank you, George. So those are the three things to think through. And a lot of these feel that way. So it is really defeating. I feel like baby step 3 is one of the more defeating steps.
We don't talk about it enough. It's grueling.
It is, because you're just like, oh my God, we're continuing to put money away. And then at the same time, it feels like life happens. Like what she's describing happens all the time to people. Where you're like, I just saved that $5,000 extra and now I'm going to have to pull it out to like do all this stuff. So it is normal to dip into your emergency fund, but that's why it's there. While it's stressful to have to take it out because you know to replenish it, at least you're not going deeper in debt. And so there's like a beauty to it. So yes, I would be using some of this as an emergency fund for sure.
And I would also try to do as much research as I can, get as many bids and quotes as I can to minimize the damage done so that it's not as defeating when you're like, oh gosh, it's going to be a journey. And I don't know, you said 42,000 is the total goal, it sounds like. She's 12 in, 30 to go.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they've got some, pretty serious expenses. So if you can lower your expenses, that can also lower your emergency fund.
Yes.
So if there's areas you can cut out of your lifestyle, that could also help you get there faster. But the truth is, baby step 3 is a slog, but it's so important to build that foundation.
That's right.
And here's what I found. Once you have the emergency fund, you have less emergencies. You're able to do more maintenance and repair.
As you go on.
Yeah, keep things up more, create sinking funds for all these things that might pop up.
Yeah, and if there's some of those things, because you just listed out like 5 different things, if maybe like 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 you can cash flow on the side by just cutting expenses, that'll help, right? With the blow of having to like take all this cash out. So,
and I would prioritize them too. Okay, this needs to happen. I personally wouldn't go with cardboard for 3 months on the. I would just get it fixed.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So,
that is
so
hard.
Sorry.
It feels like life just punches you in the face when you're doing the baby steps.
Yeah, and baby step 3 for those of you that are maybe new to all of this. Baby step 1 is to get a $1,000 emergency fund. Then you're going to pay off all your consumer debt, which on average it takes people about 2 years, and then you fully fund an emergency fund, which is baby step 3 to 6 months of expenses. So they've been in this. I'm not sure how long. I don't know how long baby step 2 took them, but it could be a solid 3 to 4 years by just getting, where they are now. So it does feel like a setback because you've been in it for so long, but you've got this. You're good.
You can do this.
You can do it. All right. Next voicemail.
I am newly engaged and I have been starting the wedding planning process with my fiance. And we asked both of our parents just if they had any ideas for contributing or what that looked like. And my parents kind of blew us out of the water with their amount, and it was much higher than we expected. And they're pretty financially irresponsible. So moving forward, we're trying to make our wedding budget and just curious, how much weight do we put into their contribution? Their reliability percentage is probably about 50% with things that they follow through with.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Okay, hold on. We got to figure out her name. I have a name for her. Do you? And we're going to say it on 3.
Hold on. Let me think. All right.
1, 2, 3.
Katie.
Sarah. Oh, Katie's a good one.
That's a good. Katie and Sarah are in the same family.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that.
And where are they from? City. Ready?
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. An exact city, not a state?
Yeah, I got a city.
You
I was thinking about it.
Okay.
I was thinking about
all
it.
right.
Ready? City. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Phoenix.
Sacramento. I thought of Phoenix,
West
too.
Coast.
I did. I was in the West Coast area.
Let us know, Katie, Sarah, Phoenix, Sacramento.
Okay. Well, the 50% follow through, if they're really offering an amount of money, then I would say, okay, thank you so much. Is there a way?
Can I have it?
To put this in an account for it to be our wedding account so that when we're meeting with vendors and we're doing stuff and we're buying
Putting
stuff
deposits
online,
down and all
that we're not having to go to y'all every time. And that kind of ensures that their promise is kept, right? I don't think that's bratty. I think that's being wise with someone offering you something and saying, okay, are you actually going to be able to follow through with that? So I would probably do that. And then, I think that's probably what I would do. Is that bad? I don't know why that feels selfish.
No, I feel like if I'm those parents, I'd be like, okay, we're going to write you a check for this amount and say, hey, if you don't use it all, use it for your future together. Just kind of make that the gift is what makes the most sense.
Yeah, I probably I would not go in spending your money with the expectation they're going to pay me back. Like that whole psychology, I think, is going to mess with you.
Getting reimbursements.
Yep. So if they don't fund it and you guys are like, well, we're planning, then you do have to come up with plan B. And maybe it is you ending up paying for it with the expectation they're not going to pay for it. And then maybe they come through later. That's great. But I would not be spending money thinking on the back end that they'll end up reimbursing us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Like,
that's
that would
scary.
be-
Because
yeah.
they go, oh, gosh, they didn't follow through, and now we have
And
all
we
these
hear,
expenses.
yes, this is like, it's a theme. We hear this a lot. And I think parents are well-intentioned. And I don't know if they just have really bad follow-through. I don't know what it is. I think it is an interesting concept to tell somebody, because this happens a lot, like, oh, we'll pay for that. And then they don't. Maybe because it's good intentions, they just don't have the money to. But it's
Maybe-
a
maybe
big
have them
promise.
Cover the big things up front, and then you kind of know, okay, the rest is on us. So they've already kind of put the skin in the game early on.
Yeah.
But
no,
I
that's
wouldn't
good.
wait until the end when all the bills are due. That frightens me.
Yeah, that's
we need
hard.
to come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
Some clarity.
And as you're wedding planning, making sure that you're on budgets and having a budget for that. Every dollar is a great place to be budgeting.
I would create your own every dollar account for that.
Yeah, I was going to say you
It's
could
a
have
life
totally different accounts. Yes, exactly. And it helps you keep up with all the expenses. So you're staying on track, because weddings can get out of hand so fast. So fast.
I had a very intense Google sheet to where it was like, this is beyond the capability.
I believe it, George. I think you sucked the fun out of it probably too.
Well, I had the estimated, then I had the actual spent, and then I had a space to where I could add the note or the link to the thing we bought, how much we paid. So it was just, there was a lot going on. No one looked at the sheet but me. Nobody was interested. I try to show people. I'll be out with friends like, hey guys, want to see my wedding spreadsheet?
Something
But
if I
guess
were to
what?
name
We
you.
were under budget. All right, your boy did great. Camel rental and all.
It's very responsible, George. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Really proud of you. Well, if I were to have an Excel sheet of things that I love in life, not just wedding planning, I would have all the clothes that I bought from Cozy Earth just right there for me in an Excel sheet, just so I could bask at the wonderfulness of all the stuff that I've bought from them.
I'm going to call that a style guide. It's a little more
You
exciting.
should do a style guide, a Cozy Earth style guide.
Have you ever wanted to do that where you upload all of your clothes to like an app and you can kind of like see what you have and pair outfits together?
No.
I think that's a thing.
But I should. It's good use. Because the Cozy Earth, I'll have the joggers, I'll have the ribbed shirts, I'll have the robe. I got a bunch of stuff. Socks.
I can't wait. I'm a little jealous because you have a bigger collection, but my package arrives today. So as soon as I get
Are
home,
you getting your shoes?
my clogs are coming in.
Yes. Clog it up. I
said,
can't wait.
I'm not a Crocs guy. I got to be a little elevated, a little bougie.
Yeah. It's a bougie Croc. Yeah.
Bougie
It's
Croc.
actually much better than Crocs.
So
No
much
offense,
better.
Crocs.
No
but-
shade to Crocs.
So all of their products are such quality. Like, they do such a great job when they make their stuff. And my biggest thing too is when you wash everything, it stays intact, which is a really big deal.
Time after time.
Because I will get some dupes in life, but you can always kind of tell. Like, after a little bit, after a few washes, they've had their time.
Quality goes down.
This stuff, man, it lasts. It's great.
And they stand behind it. They've got a 10-year bedding warranty, which is amazing.
all their stuff.
Yeah, if you want to stay cool this fall, check them out. You get up to 40% off everything on their website when you use the promo code SmartMoney, or go to cozyearth.com/smartmoney. We'll drop a link in the description as well.
All right, last voicemail, George. Let's do the last one. Number 5.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Hi, Rachel and George. This is Sherry from California. I am a 50-something mom, married, with 2 grown kids and 1 almost grown. A son that's 29, a daughter that's 26, and a daughter that is 17, about to graduate from high school. And my question is, when do you stop helping your children with emergencies? For example, if they want to borrow money for a bill or for a sudden dental visit or whatever. When do you stop doing that?
Oh, man, this is a hard one. I mean, my rule of thumb would be when they're out on their own. Like, that they are,
when you're gainfully employed and not living under my roof.
Yes, I know. I mean, that's the hard and fast rule. But a mom's heart,
Yeah, the daughter calls and she's like, Mom, I have a dental thing.
I know.
Can you guys... And she said borrow, which worried me a little bit.
Oh, good catch.
She said, they asked to borrow some money. I'm like, well, now it's a weird loan situation
Yeah, we're not
with
going to
family.
borrow. Yeah.
But then it feels weird to like continue to gift this money and enable them.
Yes.
Because they go, well, I got Bank of Mom. Why figure out how to save for my own?
That's right. Yeah, it is. It's such an interesting thing because I've known people in different camps in this with like, they don't have responsibility and they are just kind of like living as they live and they need help and the parents are there to bail them out. So I think it is one thing when parents help just bail out irresponsible kids, adult children. That's not helpful, right? You're not helping your child become a responsible adult. But But then on the other hand, I've heard multiple stories of parents that, the children they're great. Like they have work ethic, they've done great things, but they just don't make as much. And so the parents have the ability to be like, hey, yeah, we'll treat you guys to a great vacation, or we will replace your car for you. Because, you know what I mean? Like there's something about, as parents, it's a balance that you are able to help your kids. And that's a beautiful gift if you have a great relationship with them. And you know what I mean? Like there's something about that I think is really noble and wonderful. But it's out of the idea that it's not because you have to bail them out. I think that's the key word. Bailing them out, that's tough.
Especially time and time
and
again.
they expect it. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of that feeling that I think is not great. But I have known people in situations and they're awesome. They just don't have it to cover. And the parent's like, hey, I'm going to help you out this time. And it's great.
Yeah, you kind of want it to be like on the parents' terms and not the kid.
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean?
Yes, that's a great distinction.
Like where I just notice it, like the kid's working hard. I'm like, you know what, I could
They
really...
didn't ask.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what, I'd love to do this for you guys.
That's when it's like cheerful giving versus a bailout situation.
That's a great
And
way
I'd
of
have
putting
more
it.
follow-up questions. What is the work ethic? Do they have jobs? Has there been a really sudden life change where they truly need the help right now to get back on their feet?
Yes.
Or is this an ongoing pattern of just, well, I spend everything I make and therefore I can never cover an emergency? That's a bigger problem. So we got to kind of teach them how to fish here instead of just tossing more fish over.
That's right, yeah. But the character of people is big when it comes to money. And that's with any kind of like relationship question, whether it's within spouses. You hear crazy stuff with spouses that like, we had one today. Literally, the guy was like, wouldn't give her access. And she's a stay-at-home mom. It was terrible, terrible. So I'm like, that's the character of a guy that is not good, right? We have the character of, the children that will not work as adults and they expect their parents to bail them out of everything. That's not great character. So fixing the character issue, the heart issue, and then the money, the good habits of money will follow that. But it's so much about the person that's handling it. That's everything.
The hard truth of that is it starts when they're under your roof and they're young and you're teaching them all this to build that character, build that work ethic. Because it's hard to like suddenly reverse that and all of a sudden be like bad cop and be like, listen, you're 26 now. I'm not bailing you out anymore. They go, whoa, what happened? You've been doing this my whole life and all of a sudden it's a bait and switch.
Yeah.
So that also feels cruel. But I think a reset conversation would be healthy to say, hey, listen, I think I've done a poor job of setting a boundary here, making it clear, helping set you up for success. That's on me. Here's what we're going to do moving forward. Maybe you give them a book or Financial Peace University to help them get on their feet and actually learn this stuff.
Yeah.
And say, this is going to be my last time, or I'm going to cut you off by this date because I love you, not because I want harm to come to you.
Right. I want you to figure this out because you can. You're a capable adult and you can do this. So that's great, George.
Tough convo.
I know.
But if my little girl calls me one day,
I don't know.
What would I do? She's like, Dad, I want a pony. All right.
So
and you get a pony.
Oh my gosh.
These were great. Thank you for all the voicemails.
Yeah, y'all.
And
that
thanks
was so
for telling us your names and where you're from so that we don't have to guess, although that's fun too.
I know. They may have, and we may have edited them out.
They just got right in. Was that the full voicemail we heard?
They may have edited it for time.
Most did not have their name.
Okay.
Oh, most didn't have name. Okay. Well,
we
will pick one
anonymous.
for you. We will pick one for you, Sandra. All right. Well, if you have a future question that you want to ask us, call 877-306-1517 and leave us a voicemail. And we may do this episode again. It's very fun.
I'm guessing that number is going to be on the screen. They can go back and pause it, all of the things. Okay.
It's true. Do you remember having to listen to the radio growing up? And
memorize the
they're
numbers?
like, call in for these concert tickets, 492-692. And you're like, oh gosh,
Yes.
oh gosh. You're like,
That's the last time I memorized a number.
I know.
Did you ever win those radio contests?
I called in twice and never got it.
Sad.
I know. I was a caller though.
You called in. Do you ever
The River, 107.5.
ask for songs to be played?
And The Party, 102.5. The Party was
it was called The Party?
back in the day. Now it's a sports station, but back when I was in high school,
Thanks,
it's called The Party.
Opposite of a party. That's fun. I once got a dedication done.
You
It was
did
kind
on
of a
Delilah?
Well, my version was David Allen Boucher in Boston.
Oh, okay.
Magic 106.7.
Okay.
Soft rock,
Yes.
ballads.
Yes.
And so I dedicated, I don't remember, Total Eclipse of the Heart or something to like my girlfriend. It was amazing. But hearing David Allen Boucher and his smooth voice
And
say
you
it.
called in and then you got on.
Well, I said, yeah, they play a little clip of you. Like, hi, I'd like to dedicate this,
Oh my gosh.
I think it was Total.
George.
That feels like an odd song to choose in hindsight because I think that song is about heartbreak.
Oh, Yeah.
Foreshadowing?
Maybe you were heartbroken, George.
That's a good one.
Did you ever listen to Delilah though?
I think that was I don't know that I had that. I don't know that I had access to Delilah in Boston, Massachusetts.
And you'd be like falling asleep in the car and it's like, Delilah, love someone tonight. You'd be in the back seat just falling asleep as a kid, but you'd hear Delilah's voice.
That's the most singing I've heard from you. That was actually not bad. I think the quieter you do it, the better it is. Okay. If you increased the projection, it would have gotten dark.
I think that's actually very true. Yeah, defying gravity from this voice, probably not the best, but I still do it at home. Love you, Winston.
Wow. I'm going to get a recording from Winston on like the Ring cameras or whatever.
I have a great recording of me doing
that. That is fun.
All right. Well, okay. Before we spill the tea on Guilty as Charged, what are we sipping on?
This is the Irish Maid. The cost comes out to $3.05 per glass. No more, no less. Here's what's in it. Irish whiskey, elderflower liqueur, simple syrup, lemon juice, and cucumber slices to garnish.
Ah.
Really comes through on the nose there. I'm going to go 9 out of 10 on this one.
I may go 10 out of 10. I think I would legitimately order this before, like with appetizers and stuff.
If I was eating outside on a nice day, I would order this drink.
I would also order this at a sushi restaurant.
Oh.
Doesn't that sound good with sushi?
I could see that.
Yeah.
With the cucumber, very fresh, light.
There's something about it.
Pairs well.
I'm like, I need a spicy tuna roll, you know?
All right. Hey, get the recipe in the show notes. This is one to make, absolutely, especially with warmer weather. So give it a try this weekend. Let us know what you think.
Now it's time for
Guilty as Charged.
And this is where we ask each other a guilty as charged question every week. And if we're guilty, we take a sip. But playing with our voicemail theme, George, we have a guilty as charged on the voicemail.
Oh, they left it as a voicemail. I love that.
So we're doing this now, you guys, that you can actually call in and leave us your guilty as charged questions via voicemail, which we love. So make sure to call at 877-306-1517, and maybe it'll be next. I'm so excited about that.
That's so cool. Okay.
Yeah, so let's play guilty as charged.
Hey, what is going on? This is Gregory, and my question for you guys is, what is the dumbest, stupid tax you have paid? Because I've only been on this earth for 23 years, and I paid some pretty stupid tax that I hate to admit. And, I mean, like you said, you learn from every lesson, but I would just like to know some of your biggest stupid tax mistakes were. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Love it.
That's good.
I love a Gregory.
Solid name.
Stupid tax mistakes.
Oh, man.
There's like, I had a recent one. Have I dogged Dick's Sporting Goods yet? Have I threw them under the bus?
Tell us about that. That's what we want to hear.
All right. I got a pair of shoes as a gift for Christmas, and they were like a size off. Like I needed like
what
a 9.
What kind of shoes? Like Nikes?
They were Adidas Sambas. Very cool shoes. Very hip. Very in vogue. And I just needed a size up.
Okay.
They were a little bit tight or whatever, so I go to Dick's Sporting Goods. And this is, Christmas, and now it's March by the time I go to return them, because I finally get around to doing the errand.
Yep.
And you know me, I'm not trying to walk into a Dick's Sporting Goods on my own volition.
No, you're not. No, you
So
stay
I
away.
walk in, and I go, hey, I'd like to return these shoes. Here is the receipt showing exactly what was paid. You can't return that. I'm sorry, why?
Final sale?
There's a 90-day return window, and you've missed it by 13 days. And I was like, please, like I literally just need to size up. I don't even want the money. Just let me do an exchange. Can't do that. This person was the most unhelpful.
They didn't let you. Okay, I was going to say, sometimes, George, you have to play by the rules. Not everything's around you and what you want. Like, there are policies.
Yes.
But the exchange is different.
I should have read the receipt and saw that there was 90 days, but
Yeah.
Who's like reading the entirety of a receipt? They just go, I have the receipt. I'll return them in due time.
Sure.
It wasn't a year later, It was 100 days instead of 90.
Right.
So this lady was the worst.
Oh, man.
So what they finally did was they said, what we can do, my manager's saying I can give you a store credit, but not for the full amount.
For what then? Like
For like 60% of the value.
No.
Because we don't know what was actually paid. And I was like, I'm showing you on the receipt. They're like, yeah, but the receipt's no good anymore. And
Stop it.
That's where I
Stop
lost it. That's where I lost it, Rachel.
It.
And so I went in the car and I called the corporate number for Dick's and I reported them to the authorities. And I said, this is not okay. And the lady was much nicer on the phone, the corporate lady. And she ended up like adding enough like rewards points to the account that it equaled the amount that I was missing.
You went to the top.
So I basically got like $40 worth of rewards points to add to my $60 gift card.
Oh my gosh.
make it
to
whole.
get your full amount.
But that was,
Okay,
you know,
my question to you
that was
is,
a lot
here's
of work.
what we need to talk about, George.
Rachel's not putting in the
You
work.
No. I'm saying yes, ma'am. Then I'm just
It's okay, it's fine. Just trash
it's fine.
it.
It's fine. It's whatever. Here's my question, George. $40, okay?
Yep.
We're all friends here. You've shared enough of your financial journey with the people of Smart Money Happy Hour. You're fine, George. You're fine.
Oh, you think this is about $40.
So my
no,
question,
you're mistaken.
So that's it.
This
my
harkens
question,
to childhood trauma of getting bullied and taken advantage of. My ancestors, my Middle Eastern ancestors getting ripped off.
Gosh.
And I'm like, I'm changing my family
Okay,
tree.
so it is a principled thing.
Yeah.
It could have been $10.
Yes.
And you would have done the exact same
The
thing.
fact that I had a receipt showing exactly what was paid for these shoes and they
George,
wouldn't even exchange
if it was
them.
$10, would you have gone through all of that again?
Yes, I still would have called corporate.
Okay, so it is a principled thing for you.
In a fit of rage, it could have been 5 cents.
God bless.
So there you go. That's a stupid tax that I paid for not reading the stupid receipt.
I bought a very expensive swimsuit one time, which ended up being like a grandmother's sweater material. It was terrible, but it was like
swimming in a sweater material?
That's what I said. I bought it from an influencer who linked it because I was like, "That's cute," and then I got it, and I was like, "Is it?" Like, oh man.
Did she just fake it to get some affiliate revenue? What
I'm gonna have
happened
to be
here?
honest. They had to have because when I put it on, I was like, "This is the most uncomfortable thing ever."
So even if it looked cute, it was still very uncomfortable.
horrible.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, that was bad. But I had like 2 days to return it from when I realized I hated it and actually like try it because I will get packages, George, in the mail, and I don't like try them on for like maybe like because I had it for a trip, so I like had it in the corner of my closet.
Oh, you're like, well, I'll try it on later when the trip's
Yeah.
coming up.
Yes, and then I did, and I was like, oh, I hate it. And then it was like 2 days to return. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? But I got it in, thankfully. Man. I wish I had a really good one. I'm going to be honest, I don't.
It's
right now.
okay.
Well, if you guys have any guilty as charged questions, make sure to DM us at Rachel Cruz and at George Camel. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a review. And also, you will like the vibe of our other episode, responding to your complicated money questions. We'll put it in the link below so you can check it out next. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an all-new episode of Smart Money Happy Hour.